Before I get to my long-awaited talk on Honey Boo Boo and my disgust at that situation that's going on there, especially being a single parent myself, I wanted to talk about somebody in response to some degree to the NRA making an app that was for ages 4 and up, which, as you recall, Apple changed to ages 12 and up, that was a shooting game at a time when they've blasted video games in general, especially violent shooting games. That was a little hypocritical. But then somebody decided to create an app where you get to assassinate LaPierre, uh, as well as the head of the NRA. Which I think, hey, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. But of course, in true NRA fashion, they've just scoffed it off by saying things like, "Oh, how quaint! This is just a sign of the times." NRA boss responds to game about shooting him in the head. It's the state of our country. Last week, a member of the Encyclopedia Dramatica forums created a game where you shoot the NRA boss Wayne LaPierre in the head. On Friday, LaPierre addressed the game, rambling to Sean Hannity about how it shows America's hypocrisy. Oh, America's hypocrisy. Oh, this is so funny. This is so rich coming from you, LaPierre. You rile and rile against these dang video games. Then you guys have the balls to release your own video game. Yeah, no, you want to talk about hypocrisy. Let's talk hypocrisy, LaPierre. And how games are evil and all that jazz. You can see a full clip above, which link will be down in the underbar to the article where you can see the video. Of course, the implications that this disturbing game by some random internet denizen somehow reflects on the entire gaming industry is totally disingenuous. Obviously. But hey, who needs truth or context when you're looking for a scapegoat? LaPierre continued the charade with yet another soft repeated lie. Quote, there's a lot of studies that show if someone's on the line, if someone's on the edge, violent video games push them over the edge, LaPierre says. To which I say, links to my research on video games and their effects, as well as violent media and their effects on your average person, are down in on a playlist on my channel page. To which I would say, respectfully, Mr. LaPierre, anybody can say I've got a study or studies that show X, Y, and Z. If you're not going to produce these studies, if you're not going to show these studies, then kindly shut the F up. Because frankly, I'm tired of hearing this. I'm sick to death already that we have a president asking us to waste $10 million to create a study that, if biased, could cripple this industry, if unbiased, could just show to be a complete waste of money. Money, by the way, that could go to the poor. Money, by the way, that could go to feeding the poor, feeding the kids in Africa. Or they could go to further research in stem cells to fix genetic diseases, and on and on and on. This is a complete waste of money. This is a complete waste of time. But no. So if, let's say for the sake of argument, we get a completely unbiased research from the CDC, which I'm not holding my breath on that one, and it shows everything that I've been telling you since the start of this charade. What you going to say now, LaPierre? Oh, not all the jury is in. Yeah, after $10 million, the jury is still out, and that this was somehow a fudged experiment. Because let's face it, when the science agrees with you, science works. When the science doesn't agree with you, it's junk science. Screw you. This, of course, is not true. There is no such study. Look at all the violent video game research that actually exists, and there's a link in this article that you can check yourself. LaPierre did not comment on the NRA shooting video game. Funny that, right? Oh, we're not doing anything wrong, and we're not going to acknowledge that we're doing anything at all. We're just going to keep attacking, 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 which was released last week for kids age 4 and up. The rating was later changed. See, this is what I don't like about parts of this country, part of this culture. Look, I'm certainly not advocating for everybody's guns to just magically go away. Obviously, instituting even an assault rifle ban with confiscation would be the worst mistake we could possibly make and would result in a bloodbath, if not an all out and out mutiny against the United States government, which would not go well for either party. I can promise you that. And no, I'm not threatening the government or anything that. I'm just saying the people I talk to are ready to lay down their lives, or they think that it's gonna be the Expendables, that they and their buddies, their army buddies, are gonna use their paramilitary training to be able to defeat light armored vehicles and to be able to hold back the police forces, the weakly trained police forces, which that could change thanks to Obama by and by, and hold back the government's armies. Or they think, I guess, I don't know, maybe they'll think that the armies will desert their orders in favor of protecting these citizens who are just protecting their right to have their toys, which I've already talked about how completely immature and stupid this plan is, but whatever. If people are willing to throw their lives away over a gun, then this is beyond ridiculous, and there's no point in talking about this because nobody wants to be reasonable about this. Not the anti-gun people, not the pro-gun people. But this just goes to show the mentality. This just continues to prove my point. You know, people may be mad at me, but prove me wrong on this point. Prove to me how any of this makes any sense without trying to drag in the Founding Fathers, the Second Amendment, or any of your other BS, unfounded, argument from emotion or appeal to emotion argument fallacies that you tend to want to assign to this, as if any of this actually trumps the actual research, the actual numbers we're seeing, and the actual sanity that needs to be restored to this country. But what more needs to be said about this? It's completely hypocritical. And that's all that can be said about this. Anyways, I need to get on to my other last video of the night, my angry rant of the night, and finish up my broadcasting evening.